the Obama-Biden administration rescued the auto industry and helped them retool. We made solar energy cost competitive with traditional energy and weatherized more than 1 million homes. This is just the beginning if we get reelected. Beef up the number of responders dealing with these crush of cases. And in addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go to the second thing. I've spoken enough of that. The president must use the Defense Production Act.
As president, would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes.
You guys voted early today?
Because I'm going to be in, where am I tomorrow?
Florida.
Traveling tomorrow.
Is walking off the plane, arriving in Florida just moments ago. Former Vice President Joe Biden. He's there to try to court Latino voters. His polls are showing President Trump is making gains with them, particularly with
and initiatives. Not only that, the United States owns one of them and maintains an enormous fleet of vehicles. And we're going to harness the purchasing power of our federal government. And in addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go to the second thing. I've spoken enough of that. But this is one of my favorite pictures. It's a picture of me and my two boys when they were in high school, when they were in college.
Oh.
I don't know whether you can see that.
Just move it. Just move it. Oh, look at that.
And I have that hanging.
To know, what will your administration do to help them give them that chance? Thank you.
Move it up here. You know, there used to be a basic bargain in this country. Workers shared in the wealth their work helped create. Continues to all but ignore. In the meantime, Trump and his friends have strong views about what the rest of America should do. Quote, cut unemployment benefits to force people to go back to their jobs, end of quote. Defund Social Security and eliminate Obamacare in the middle of a pandemic, end of quote. Reopen public schools without resources or guidance. I guess, are you calling on people or how am I don't have a list, so you go ahead and call. And what we have done is the reason why most of the world was repaired to us, particularly after World War II, is because of who we are as a nation. We, the people, we hold these truths, etc. Sounds corny, but it's real. And that's why, that's why the vast majority of the nations have followed us. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Democrat. Join us. If you want a nominee who will bring this party together, who'll run a progressive, positive campaign and turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump if, in fact, we get engaged in this circular firing squad here. Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. It would put 720 million women back in the workforce. Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. What's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it? And what a neat town. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
He learned about roaches. I can't even critique that, to be honest with you. And we must never forget about corn pop, rusty razor blades, and rain barrels.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, in those days, you used to remember the straight razor, you'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty.
Remember how we used to bang the rusty razor blades in the rain barrels?
One of the things I'm proudest of is getting past, getting moved, getting control of the Paris Climate Accord. I'm the guy that came back after meeting with Deng Xiaoping and making the case that I believe China would join if we put pressure on them. You had people like you had people like the former chairman and leader of the party in Germany.
You missed the best bit. You're trying to read out a phone number. It's hilarious. Now, can you imagine that man in a presidential debate with Donald Trump? There's not enough popcorn in the world.
It says daily troop updates. U.S. troops died in Iran and Afghanistan. 6,000 as of today, 923.